Good morning. It's March 8th, 2016, and I will call the Wright County Board meeting to order. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Minutes of March 1st.
Mr. Chair, I did have one tiny correction on page 7 of 8, down toward the very bottom, number 3, feedlot meeting. It should say Burrell, Delighten and Burrell attended a meeting last week, so I was there too.
I don't remember seeing him.
Yeah, nobody heard me either, right?
No. He was quiet the whole time.
Holy, well, we know that's not right. You need to go to confession, Mark. Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with that one change.
I'll second that.
Motion by Commissioner Potter, second by Commissioner Hewsome to approve the minutes with the one change. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries unanimous. The agenda. Any amendments to the agenda?
Mr. Chair, if I could, I'd like to add 2 items to the consent agenda. The first being a request to hire the Facilities Services Director above 12% of the beginning range. If I could refer that to tomorrow's Personnel Committee.
Okay, so that's going to be administration 2 maybe?
That would work.
Facilities Director, hire above 12% of range. That's what you said, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, what else you got, Lee?
The second item would be to refer to the 323 Personnel Committee visa sponsorship. Sorry, I can't talk today.
Visa?
Correct. We have an employee that is currently on a work visa, and I'd like to discuss with the board, as that does have a timeline to it.
Okay. So that would be administration 3 then?
Sure.
Mr. Chair, could I add a County Ditch 38 update to my agenda?
Okay. Okay, 905, item A6. Anybody else?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
I'll second it.
Motion by Commissioner Delighten, second by Commissioner Potter. Any further discussion? Not all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. The consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda with the caveat that the reason that claims are so high is because of the new Public Works building. Some payments on that.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion by Delighten, second by Potter. Any further discussion? I guess the only comment I made, I didn't see any backup support for C1 is all, but I guess we'll talk about the Personnel Committee.
I guess I could give you a quick update on that.
What are they just briefly, what are they looking to?
One of the 2 part-time employees has submitted her resignation, and there's a couple developments. Just want to discuss how we want to staff that moving forward.
Okay.
A lot of different options kind of in play. I'll know more information by the 23rd. I just wanted to make sure it was on the committee for that date.
Very well, okay. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. 9:05, Bob Hevola, good morning.
Good morning, Board. The first item on the agenda is to convene the Tax Forfeiture Committee. We do have a sale coming up in May, and we wanted to alert the Tax Forfeiture Committee of the progress that we've made. Again, we're selling the properties that have already been for sale, adding one property in Stockholm that wasn't sold yet. We pulled it from the last sale. So we want to have a meeting with the forfeit committee. We're looking at Tuesday, or Monday, the 21st, if we could. I know on the agenda we said the 22nd, but we had a conflict, so we all couldn't be there. So March 21st, that Monday, before the Human Services Board meeting, 1 o'clock or 1:30, 11 o'clock?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, there was confusion whether 21st, 22nd, and the 21st would have been 11 o'clock. If it had been Tuesday, it would have been 8:15, but there was a conflict with that
So 11 o'clock on
on Monday.
Monday, the
Right.
21st.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the tax forfeit committee meeting on Monday, March 21st at 11 a.m.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and a second to approve the tax forfeiture committee meeting Monday, March 21st at
11.
11 a.m. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries unanimous.
Commissioners, the second item on the agenda is an outcome of the counties looking for additional ways to train election judges. Municipalities are finding it hard to find election judges who can commit time and travel to come. So one of the things that our election supply company, Sea Change, and this would be kind of like a branch of Sea Change, they developed an online election judge training and certification program. Jackie in my office sent out a survey to ask Wright County precincts if there's any interest in this. And it was pretty impressive of those returns that our precincts would like to add this to it. In lieu of them paying an election judge time to come here and travel, they would be willing to pay the cost of training. The county would pay the upfront cost and the ongoing maintenance. So board, this would be an agreement between Wright County and DS Solutions. Brian's reviewed this contract. We would be paying the one-time installation and the ongoing annual maintenance. So even on the non-election years, we still have maintenance. But the utilization of the certification would be borne by the precincts. So I'm asking you to approve this contract with DS Solutions.
I'll make a motion to approve the online election judge training agreement with DS Solutions.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Delisle and second by Commissioner Burrell. Any further discussion?
Bob, when they do this, let's say a potential election judge is going through this training at home, would they log their hours or would they allow a certain amount? Because right now, when they come over for training, they do get compensated.
Commissioner Burrell, I guess that's going to be up to the precincts. I'm assuming what they're going to say is, in lieu of you having to go to Buffalo, we'll pay for you to take this training. I don't know that they're going to compensate them for the time they have to be on it or pay for the course. I guess it's up to them. I haven't gone that far to.
Refer to the next item.
It's up to them if they want to pay them to take the course.
Mr. Chair,
The next item. Yep.
are we going to still offer on-site
Isn't that it?
training also?
Handed this out the other week.
Yes, commissioners, I'm still looking to train new judges because we want to give them the Wright County situations. Plus, we'll also have head judge training. So we'll still offer election judge training here at the courthouse.
This is just an option for people then.
That's right. Exactly.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous.
Board, in your package, you should have received the December budget reports. The reason for the delay is the annual thing that we go through where we want each of the departments to review their transactions. We try to review them on a monthly basis, but we want to make sure we didn't omit anything. So now is the final December budget. This is a cash-based type of report. Normally I do a year-end review for you. With state auditors close to doing our audit, probably in April or an opinion from them in May, I'd like to recommend that I wait till May or June to do that year-end review for you, and that'd be on a full accrual versus the cash basis.
Mr. Chair. This is the one you're talking about that you gave us a couple weeks ago?
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't in our packet.
Yeah, it was not in our packet.
Maybe it wasn't, unless it was in the packet a couple of weeks ago, but.
Commissioner, I believe it was distributed. We just forgot to get it on the agenda, so.
So, if that's the case, then we probably don't need any action right now then, correct, Bob?
Well, you could just accept it and then.
Or accept, okay. Okay, a motion to accept the December revenue expenditure guideline.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Potter, second by Commissioner Deline. Any further discussion? And then sometime in May or June, we'll have an in-depth discussion relative to the year-end numbers.
Correct, and we'll set up our committee of the whole
Yep.
and invite the public to that, so.
And that will be timely enough because really, I think we always want to know that stuff prior to the next budget cycle, so.
Right.
Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous.
Board, the next item on the agenda, I just wanted to give you an update as where we are at with using procurement cards. Our installation team is engaged. One of the things that we needed to vet out yet was how do we maintain our sales tax exemption? And I believe we have our marching orders going forward, and that's to have people carry the ST3 cards with them. So they have a procurement card and the sales tax exemption card with them. Most of the vendors that we'll repeatedly go to will understand that we are exempt, but we want to make sure we don't pay sales tax and then have to figure out how to get a credit back. So I believe it's going to be within a couple weeks that we're going to have our first procurement cards issued out to departments and employees. In about 5 weeks to 6 weeks, we're going to have the fleet cards distributed out to the deputies. So that project has been in the works for a long time and it's finally going to come home. Credit card acceptance, I just want to reiterate that we had met with the technology committee. We are building the business requirement document for credit card acceptance. Currently, we accept credit cards in court services, human services, our property taxes, which is online, and then the parks. It is a desire that we come up with some more items that are available for sale on our web. Could be the signing up for classes and whatnot. So we do want to move forward with a credit card acceptance. The next step is to present a credit card acceptance policy to you. So the BRD is coming along. We're about the middle of it where we're going to draft a credit card policy and then we're going to solicit our vendors. So the only thing I would like to do is reiterate that while I do know that we're moving forward with some other ventures here, I do want to make sure that we have that ability to say any ventures we're going forward with, we want to be able to replace that engine behind it. So if we do sign up for something, that vendor understands that when we come up with a countywide solution to yield the best benefit for the county, we want that authority to be able to come in there and replace that. So we present that to the technology committee. I just wanted you to hear that again. So that's the update on procurement card and credit card acceptance. If you have any technical questions, I have Olga here, so.
No, I understand that it's the business analysts that are slowing you down a little bit.
And I'll leave the room and they'll tell you it's the leader, so.
I'm just kidding, Olga.
So that's it for that update. Going on to the next item, adopt a resolution for addressing the 2015 federal grant awards. There was language in which we needed to amend our policies or address the fact that we need to address our policies for the Uniform Grant Code. Basically, the issuers of federal grants want to make sure that we're complying with procurement. For example, we're following state statutes as far as bidding out, that we're not favoring one vendor or another. So the state auditors shared with us a recommendation of the resolution where basically we acknowledge that we need to amend our procurement card policies. Procurement policies, not procurement card. It's a very generic thing. We're asking for a 2-year grace period. All the counties that they're working with, if they haven't already addressed the uniform grant compliance, they're suggesting they adopt a grace period. So Board, I'm asking you to adopt this resolution whereby we are asking for 2-year grace period to effectively modify our procurement policies to meet the new uniform grant compliance.
Mr. Chair, I'll move forward the resolution to adopt a resolution addressing the 2015 federal grant awards.
I'll second that.
Motion by Burrell, second by Potter. Any further discussion?
I just want, Mr. Chair, so once we get this all straightened out, then it'll take care of all future grants for the future, or are we going to have to adopt resolutions every year?
Until GASB changes or the federal grants change it.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, Charlie?
Aye.
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 Resolution carries unanimous.
Board, the item that was added to my agenda was a County Ditch 38 update. Just to bring everybody back up to speed, County Ditch 38 is our ditch that crosses 12. It goes underneath the trailer park. That ditch was ordered to be redetermined. We became aware that the benefits of that ditch system were out of alignment. Our records were inconsistent, so you ordered a redetermination to reestablish our records. So now we have a tile and an open ditch system. I think the next step for us, we've already held the hearings, we've done the redetermination, would be to establish a profile of that ditch system. Now, we could hire internal people or hire external people.
Mr.
Charlie?
Chair. Bob, I'm wondering if maybe we couldn't have a meeting, a ditch committee meeting, and address this issue along with ditch 31, where we had some other outstanding issues. Remember, our ditch inspector, Mike Young, was in, probably about a month ago, and the information he was getting into, it was a little bit more technical maybe than we wanted to handle at this level. It probably should have been done at a committee. Maybe we can do, encompass some of that at ditch committee meetings.
So Commissioner Burrell, you'd like to have a ditch committee of the whole? Just bring everybody up to speed?
I think
on where
so.
we're at?
I think it would be good, and then Mike could present the information, because he did have a lot of things. I think he had about 6 or 7 ditches that he kind of wanted to go through, so.
Okay. My understanding is this 38 update was coming from solicitation from the benefit landowner saying, what are you doing? So I would just want to make sure we were giving this proper attention.
No, I agree.
Do we approve the redetermination? Did
Yes,
that all get finished?
Commissioners, you did. We held the public hearing. Notice were sent out to the newly established benefit landowner list. So I did share with you the DNR's comment about our beacon map showing the ditch extending into their natural waterway. And the question is that just our beacon map showing where the benefit landowners are? I don't think the physical ditch goes there. The man-made ditch doesn't go all the way to the natural waterway, but obviously the water from the ditch will make it to that natural waterway.
Bob, do you think you could get together with Mike and Janice and whoever interested parties, from the county, and then give us some dates for next board meeting? Maybe we can pick some dates. You'll be gone, Mike, or?
Well, this next week.
Okay.
We'll all be gone next week, won't
Oh,
we?
that's right, yeah.
So that we
So
can.
Charlie's going to be here.
I'll probably come in,
Don't
yeah.
tell.
But I want to make sure that this is a ditch committee of the whole of my county commissioners and Mike.
I think so.
We're not really bringing in anybody from the public.
No, it's just so the board can kind of get brought up to speed where we're at on some of these. And
Obviously, any committee of the whole, the public's welcome.
Yeah,
to
they're
attend.
welcome to be here, but yeah.
Exactly.
But this would be a generic, or not generic, an update on all of our systems, Mike's report, drainage DB utilization, and the conditions of our open items. Any
Okay,
other-
so we'll come up with a date in 2 weeks for that.
Okay.
And we'll have to set that date and give 3-day proper notice, so. What I'll probably do, we don't have a meeting next week, so it'll be the 22nd, I'll put it before you, which means you can't meet for 3 days from there, so.
Yeah, I don't think we'd want to meet before the following week.
All right, so it might be the first week of April.
Last week of March.
Yeah, last
first
week of March,
April.
first week of April. We'll give that 2 week, we'll have,
April 1st would be a good day for ditch stuff.
Yeah.
I won't be here.
Then it'd be a really good day.
giving Doodle,
I
a
think
have
she
to
needs
put
to suffer through this too.
board's giving Doodle a little plug. I'll have Janice send out that Doodle schedule. Let us pick the optimum date that fits everybody.
Okay. And Bob, here's this. Morning, Virgil.
Morning, Chairman Swatsky and Board of Commissioners. Today I have one item to bring before you. We opened bids on Thursday, February 25th for the new highway building fluids and lube system bid. And we received one bid from Pump and Meter of Hopkins in the amount of $229,585.30. We had estimated and shown in the project budget an amount of $280,000 for this item. So we're here today to recommend award of this bid.
Okay, any questions?
Mr. Chair?
Mark?
I'm curious to find why there was only one bidder on this.
That's what I wanted to know.
Did we restrict the equipment that we wanted? Because there's a lot of companies out there that do this sort of stuff. So
There were several companies that were interested and came out and looked at the building and looked at the plans, met with Chris and walked through the building, and in the end, there was just one bidder.
And I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense. Unless we made the specifications for equipment that only one supplier could provide, we should have had more than one bid on this standardized equipment. It just makes me nervous that we only had one bidder on this one.
Mr. Chair?
Commissioner Potter?
In reference to Commissioner Delyden's thought, I think the same thing, what you're thinking, only one bidder, but I have to believe that if there was somebody else that said you're being too restrictive, they'd be screaming at the top of their lungs about, you made it so only they can get it, because people have a tendency, especially businesses, when they're trying to garner more business, get a little upset when you spec out. It's like some counties or some cities got kind of in trouble a while back that specking out a loader that only Caterpillar could meet, and they had to bring that down. I'm not sure if it was city that did that, but it was brought up a few years back that they are making the bids too tight. Like, I agree with you, one bid kind of makes you scratch your head, but
Especially for this amount, because there are so many different suppliers out there that provide this type of equipment. I don't understand why there was only one.
was there a time frame involved that they couldn't meet or something?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Virgil, did anybody approach you and indicate that they were dissatisfied, that the parameters were such that
No.
prohibited from bidding?
We didn't receive any comments like that during the bid process.
Did this just go out for open bids, or did we send notices to different companies, or how did that
Both,
work?
yeah, it went through both. It was advertised openly, and then also Kraus Anderson sent it out to 2 or 3 companies that were known to be able to supply this type of equipment.
So of all those companies that came out and looked, because you said there was multiple ones that showed interest, did any one of them indicate to you why they chose not to bid in the end?
Not that I'm aware of. They may have indicated to Ken Francis, and I can check on that, but I do know up until the bid opening, we thought we were going to get 2 bids for sure, because there were 2 companies that were looking at it very close.
I would like it if you could do that, check with Ken and see if we could find out why the other people never bothered to put a bid in. I mean, gosh.
Sure, and it could have been
At least keep
a
somebody
number
honest.
of things.
you know.
It could have been timing or other things
I don't know,
like that.
this really makes me nervous for this kind of money for only one bidder.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to award the bid, the fluid and lube system, for the bid that was received in the amount of $229,585.30 to Pump and Meter Service out of Hopkins.
Motion by Potter, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Commissioner Houston, is there any discussion?
Virgil, did you have an estimate on, you said it was like about 280?
280,000 was the
So,
estimate.
so maybe the other companies heard that this company's bidding and they're not even gonna bother, so who knows, but, okay. So it's not higher than what we anticipated anyway, so.
And I'll check with construction manager.
It'd be interesting to find out.
What is is there a timeliness factor here? I mean,
Yes,
okay, so waiting 2 weeks would be problematic.
yes.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, Virgil, there's no concerns about this company, correct?
No,
Because
there's not.
they put these out, yeah.
No, this pump and meter service company is
Yeah.
a good company. No, I have a concern that,
Why no one else bid?
yeah, it doesn't pass the smell test to me.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Carries 4-1.
Thank you.
I both would be on that too.
Lee Kelly. Morning, Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On today's agenda or in your packet should be the documents that I received from Old Architects. As you recall, we've worked through the process of this RFP study, having both our small group and then the Board of Commissioners do some interviews with a few of the firms, and we had selected Wold as the architect firm for this RFP project. What I have in front of you today is to authorize signatures on the contract to move forward with that project. Lene Schoen is here from Wold if you do have any questions or any questions you may have of myself.
I see the judge is here also. If we sign this to get the sign and approved today, will they be able to start Saturday?
So what did we, the $45,000 was the figure, that's correct? Is
Correct,
that
yes.
include or not include other associated costs? I'm not thinking of the word right now, the
Mr. Chair, the
reimbursables. Does that include reimbursables, or is there, what is the reimbursable?
I guess I could speak to that. It was $45,000 fixed fee and then up to $44,000 of reimbursables.
44?
44?
4,000.
Oh, 4.
40.
Okay. So
Sorry.
you almost got us back
I'm
in
not having a
negotiations
good day
here.
today talking, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay, so, and your name again is?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I'm Lene Schoen with Wold Architects and Engineers.
So Lene, we're not going to see a bill for more than $49,000 for this project, correct?
Absolutely not. Nope, it's an all-inclusive fee for the study.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Wold.
Motion by
Second that.
Commissioner Burrell. Did I hear a second from Charlie? Second by Commissioner, or motion by Commissioner Delight, second by Commissioner Burrell. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Committee minutes. Capital Improvement Finance. Commissioner Delight, please. The technology or?
Capital Improvement Finance
Charlie.
Committee met on March 1st.
It's those two. Yeah.
Members present were Delight, Swatsky, Hevala, Kelly, and Virgin. And there were no other people present. And it was just a high overview of the capital improvement plan. It was just to go over the funding mechanisms and the plan documentation.
Gotta be delayed.
We received a spreadsheet on it, and it was just some discussion regarding the technology committee process for the IT projects. There was a request to have the revisions on the document be tracked and dated. And then there was questions on, for an outlying shop in French Lake, should they be deferred till 2017? And also to refer to the deferred maintenance and renovation budgets for the old highway building. And then a committee of the whole has been set for March 29th to further review this matter regarding the maintenance for the Park and Surveyors facility, which again is the existing Public Works building. All this information is online that can be found along with all the documentation and the capital improvement plan for our 2016 through 2021 can be found online. And with that, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Motion by Delight and second by Potter. Any further discussion? As long as Virgil's in the room, I guess Virgil, I think that shop in French Lake that's down for 17 probably should go back at least a year or more, just in light of all the resources that have been shoved kind of your guys' way as of late, but that's just my opinion on that one. And I've had at least one person up here support that position, so. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries unanimous. And the personnel one, or the technology ones as well, Mark. I didn't give you advance notice on those, but Charlie wasn't there that day. I sat in for Charlie.
Oh, that's right.
Otherwise, I would have pushed it down to Charlie.
That's right, I forgot. We could still make them do it. Wright County Technology Committee met on February 24th. Members present were Delighten. Swatsky was in for Burrell. Havila, Tagaro, Hawkins, and Job. Others present were Sue Virgin, Bill Cordell, Cooper, and August Rovell. A number of the things that we had talked about were the highway permitting system. The highway department is looking into an automating their permit system, which is a really neat little system that'll be able to get done online now. It could save quite a bit of money. It will help, instead of people having to deal with it out at the highway department, it'll actually be able to be done online, which will save the people needing the permits quite a bit of time and make things a lot easier for them and a lot faster. The recommendation was to proceed with that permitting system, and it's a permitting system where they'll be able to use credit cards, and it's piggyback off of the Dakota County system that is currently being used by Dakota County and a number of municipalities in that county also. So it has been a proven system. The cost for the new system is about $2,000 and $3.50 per permit. But again, we'll be able to recoup those costs very easily. Item number 2 is the wireless upgrade. The government center upgrade is almost done. Public Works upgrade is taking place on Thursday, 25th of February, and Human Services Building, the 29th of February. The wireless will be accessed faster with increased signal strength, and that'll allow us to do a number of things in the future. One of the other options that we're looking at is opening up the Wi-Fi to the public, and that is being looked at because we need to make sure that the county's network is protected. Item 3 was information security assessment. The security assessment was approved in 2015. The company has been chosen for it. This assessment will take about 10 to 12 weeks, and the cost of the assessment was actually reduced from $60,000 to $43,000, and this is going to help double check our IT system to make sure that it's not vulnerable to attacks. That the Chinese can't get into it and cause all sorts of havoc. Item number 4 was the virtual desktop pilot project. They're going to be doing a pilot virtual desktop project in 2016. They're looking at the people that this will make the most sense to use with. And there's no timeline set up for it yet at all. They want to target about 20 to 50 desktops for the pilot. Health and Human Services and Court Services are interested in the testing progress, so those are the 2 groups that will probably end up using it. Item number 5 was public surplus update. This is kind of some really good news. Items sold on public surplus auction in 2015 were 96 desktops, 154 laptops. That included old tough books and tracers from the sheriff's squad cars and 56 gateway monitors. The total sales, including tax, was $7,929.28. If we receive payment for all auctions that have thus far closed for 2016, so far this year, we've sold $3,009.77 up to this point, February 24th. Then there was a discussion on whether to add more items to the auction from different departments. And he had a number on what we would get at the auction in the fall of the year or the spring of the year, and it was only a few $1,000s. So this is a substantial amount better than what we got at the,
Well, the computers, we were doing far better. First off, he was finding a home for them, and second, actually getting money for
Right.
them.
yeah.
Because I know out at the auction, there were things that before we'd like, there'd be a whole wagon
Pallet.
load of things, and maybe
Yeah.
someone would like pay $1.
Yeah, so we're getting much more money for it. We're getting better exposure.
We can get rid of them immediately instead
Get rid of
of
it immediately, so it's
storing them
saving,
up for months and months.
saving employee time too.
Less
So,
employees moving them from place to place,
yeah, so it has, it's a great option. It's been a good thing for the county. Item number 6 was the committee membership. Togargo would like to set up a technology committee on Outlook as a recurring meeting. And then making some invitees optional, invitees as optional, but to encourage attendance if there are agenda items that will affect their departments. There was some concerns, and I stated it, that some departments are buying their own software without the approval of IT, and then having technology staff install the product. Togargo referred to it as shadow IT. And IT needs to approve all purchases of hardware and software for compatibility and security purposes. Recommendation to Togargo to discuss shadow IT at leadership team. So to make this clear, that if software does not go through IT first and foremost, and this board finds out about it after the fact, heads will roll, I guess is the way to put it. Because it has to go through IT. We cannot, and it has been happening far too often with people buying software and then it sits on the shelf because IT doesn't have the time to deal with it. Or the other issue is that they purchase the software and then they find out that it's not compatible with some of what we're doing with the IT stuff. So it just sits around and not gets utilized. So I can't stress
Kind of wonder how much.
strongly enough
Sitting there, we don't even know about.
that it has to go to IT first.
Makes sense.
Well, you could have a deal too where IT says we don't have time to get to it for 8 months, and by then there was an update of that of
Right,
the software.
yeah.
That's the other issue.
thing.
And it has happened, and it cannot happen. Item number 7, credit card acceptance, and Bob had already mentioned about our credit card acceptance. And I would make the motion to, for item number 1, proceed with the permitting system for the highway department, and the rest of it again is all informational only.
Second.
Motion by Delight, second by Burrell. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, are you also approving the minutes?
Yes. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries unanimous. 6B, schedule committee of the whole meeting regarding supportive care to frail, elderly, or disabled ordinance. Lee, you want to give a brief update on this here?
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you. This is an ordinance that's been on our books since the 80s, and it's had quite a bit of discussion. We don't receive a ton of the requests relative to this ordinance, but a quick overview is it allows for a mobile home to be placed if a medical need is determined for a person to care for. An elderly person, usually a mobile home can be placed on their property. So the ordinance outlines that process that each of the departments that are involved have to follow. A few of the departments have expressed a desire to revisit this, and I think it'd be the easiest to just have all the departments that it impacts, as well as the board in one meeting, hence the committee of the whole. So.
Okay. I can't recall if you
Chair.
had any dates and times that, I didn't see any recommended, was there?
No, I didn't propose anything in the board posting.
Do we have anything scheduled for after our next board meeting?
We do.
What do we have? Because I don't
No, we
have
don't.
nothing.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
We do not on the next board meeting, the 22nd. There is one following the 29th board meeting.
So the 22nd would be
Yeah, the
probably.
22nd is,
We have
Sean, does the
sol-
22nd work for you? Okay, Chris, does that not work for you, or?
No, I was just saying, we have the public hearing for solar
That's
public
within the
hearing at 9:30. I don't know how much time that's gonna.
Which
if-
public hearing is that?
the
Solar
solar.
farms.
That's at 9:30.
Well,
so
maybe
that
we
may-
should shoot till at least 11 then
11?
or something, just in case that takes a little bit.
That works.
Well, the other thing is there's a meeting off too. So we
That's
could,
true.
you know, so I think we want to go till at least 11, if not later.
Well, and again, this isn't a time-sensitive item at this point. We could go out further if that works better for
Well, we
scheduling.
could even go to 11:30.
Or do it 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock's fine also, I guess.
11:30 maybe.
11:30?
Be better.
I don't think the meeting would take longer than an hour, I wouldn't think. My observation is, and I've been around a while, I mean, Sean, what has there been, about one of these every 2 years? Would you say? That's about right. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
literally, I mean, like I say, in all the time I've been here, I'd say there's been a dozen or so. You know, I'm not sure why anybody's raising a concern, but I guess we can have that discussion.
Okay, so 11:30?
11:30 on the 22nd?
I'll make a motion to committee of the whole to discuss supportive care to the frail, elderly, and disabled ordinance on the 22nd at 11:30 a.m.
Second.
Motion by Delide, second by Potter. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Post same sign, motion carries unanimous. Before we go to advisory committee and updates, I was going to ask this question and I forgot. Consent agenda, the first one, A1. So we're inviting everybody on the board then to attend that meeting, I'm presuming, is what I'm seeing there?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I just figured since it would be at Wright County, it's local, I
Okay.
thought all of the board members may be wanting to attend, so it was kind of just a preemptive to make you aware, number one, that it was happening here, and if you would happen to attend, it would be posted for.
Okay. I'll probably go as long as it's here then.
Be nice.
What's that?
Said be nice.
Well, I'd hate to disappoint anybody by not showing up, so since I had the opportunity. I thought I'd have you go. I would just be quiet and I'd say what he says. What he says, that's what I think.
Don't count on me being there.
Okay.
I know there's something else going on.
But just in case, if you didn't notice, this is for all of us, then put that in our
Yep.
calendar.
Right.
Sometimes it's easy to kind of not see them on the consent agenda. Okay, advisory committees and updates. This time I'll start down on Chris's end.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, maybe you want to talk about our tour of the Public Works facility. When we get to that, I'll just talk about safe schools.
I
went-
wasn't here for the public works.
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry. It was Charlie. So, Charlie, maybe you want to talk about it. He came up with a good word for it.
Okay, yeah.
To describe the
Words of
building.
wisdom.
So, I was at the Buffalo Safe Schools meeting last week, and a couple of things that were, I think, worth sharing is they've been working with the Text for Life and the really positive effect that's having with our young people. In 2014, there was 4,600 contacts or people reaching out through the Text for Life. And in 2015, it increased to 9,963. So they're definitely utilizing this. They're active in 39 counties. The Wright County area, they had 139 texts from kids. They're doing presentations at the schools and the health classes, and it's the kids that are sending the text messages. Number one is for mental health, number two is for suicide ideations, and three is about relationships. So when we first heard about it, when we were at Central Minnesota Mental Health, Commissioner Sawatsky and I were at that meeting when they were talking about Text for Life, and it made sense to me because kids, that's one of the main ways they're communicating. So that's been a real positive thing for these kids. Let's see, they had the Rave Week, Rethinking Homeless seminar. I was not able to make it, but that also happened at the end of February. And they collected $800 worth of items for for homeless people. That was 3,500 items. And we have a mental health subgroup that's kind of getting together to address some of the mental health issues. There'll be a seminar for autism spectrum on Thursday, March 17th from 8:30 to 10 at the Health and Human Service building, if anyone's interested in that. And that is about it, unless you want me to talk about the new building. So you go ahead, Charlie, with that one.
Mike?
I have nothing this week, Mr. Chair.
Oh, jeepers. What a surprise.
Yeah,
I know.
He wants to get going. He's been on vacation.
Okay, here.
Plane leaves at what time?
Well, Saturday night, we were all invited to the Pheasants Forever 2015-2016 banquet, and I know the rest of you, I think, had some conflicts and whatnot, but I was able to attend. It was in Monticello. And the Pheasants Forever presented the Wright County Board with a award, Pheasants Forever Longtail Award, in recognition of the Wright County Commissioners and deep appreciation and recognition of contributions to the mission of Pheasants Forever. And this is kind of something that they indicated was due to just actions of the board over a number of years. So we got this, Lee, if you can, it's very nice, it's framed, if you could maybe put that in our fine room in our display case out there, I think that would be nice. And so I was proud to receive that and receive the appreciation on behalf of the board, and there it is for us.
Thank you.
They had quite the event. Boy, I tell you, I can't imagine how many thousands of dollars was raised that night with all the tickets that were being sold and raffle after another, after another, after another, after another. A lot of great Wright County sportsmen there opening up their wallets for Habitat in the county.
So what did you win?
I didn't win anything. I bought a couple different opportunities for things, but I did not win anything.
Sorry to hear that.
That's okay. I really didn't want to win. I didn't want to be the guy that was invited and then.
You got an award and one
You know,
prize.
so.
Jamie and I met, you were done?
Yep.
Jamie and I, Jamie Gooden Schwartz and I went to a mental health initiative in Woodbury last week on Wednesday, and it was, and actually I had a chance to meet Dr. Lee from Central Minnesota Health, but it was Department of Health, Department of Human Services, hospital administrators and their group, along with human services groups. There was a number of people there to discuss and come up with ways to improve mental health services, the emergency type services, you know, with what's already been occurring and how we can improve things more in the future to help some of those crisis type issues, to prevent things from spiraling out of control, which has happened in the past. So hopefully something will come out from about it. That's about all.
Charlie?
And on the last Thursday, we were out to the tour of the highway building. I think, let me see, Chris?
I didn't make the
Just
tour,
you and I.
but I made the
Us
meeting.
too. Okay, but anyway, the word is, was it Spartan? Or were you going to think of something else?
No, we're trying to, after we left the building, and it's very, very nice, but it's very basic.
It's-
nothing fancy. There's, you know, just, it's
No
not
special
fancy.
frills, but real
Right, so
functional.
I was trying to think of the word of how I would describe it, and I couldn't think of the word, and so I was kind of giving words that would indicate, you know, what I was trying to figure out, and I finally thought of Spartan, but
That's
before I did,
utilitarian.
Charlie came up with the word utilitarian. I said, that's a good word. That's a good word to describe what the building is, because it's going to be wonderful because they'll have the space, and it's going to take care of the needs, but it's not,
Yeah.
it's
We
not.
we were taking turns being the thoracist, you know, so.
But, you know, you guys are saying that, but we haven't seen Virgil's office completed yet. So we don't know exactly
We may
how.
come up with a different word for that.
but it is, it's
Right-
very
right now
nice.
But anyway,
What,
it's
Virgil's
very
Village
much,
down there?
And they've done a great job with, figuring out how to capture solar and, with the windows, and it's bright, but it's
Yes.
not,
lot of activity going on out
lot
there.
of
And you had to
activity.
really be careful because it was regular work site.
we
going
had our
on,
hard
so,
hats on
Yeah.
and our bright
Re-
vests.
Regarding that, and I guess it wasn't brought up, but as long as Virgil's here, what are the plans? When are you hoping to actually be able to move into there? What is the goal?
I think it's, right now, things are tracking that the end of May, all the testing would be done, and then beginning June 1st, furniture, some IT stuff, and so sometime in June, we could be ready to.
Oh, wow.
August was the original move-in date, correct?
I think July, sometime.
End of July.
We've had a
So
good
it might be
winter.
about a month ahead of schedule then.
Yes.
I mean, the weather's been really great.
But anyway, it was a good tour, and it's a lot
It was.
of information out there. And then the other, last night I was at the Fair Board meeting, and one of the things they were discussing, the Howard Lake Good Neighbor Days is actually going to be probably having this celebration at the fairgrounds. They're gonna pay the Fair Board some of the utility costs and things like that. They've already have used the fairgrounds to stage the parade, but they're gonna maybe bring in the entire thing out there, the way it sounded to me. And then one of the other things that I have to find this out from the sheriff is they've had some times where people have called 911 from the fair, and the dispatch asks for an address. So we need to come up with a legal address. You'd think the Wright County Fairgrounds would be good enough, but apparently,
Well, you would think there'd be multiple addresses out there because there's actually
Right.
city streets and there's various buildings, so
so.
you'd almost have to have multiple addresses.
But anyway, that's one of my homework assignments. I have to come up with a 911 address. Well, then the other thing too is for when they're advertising it, for people to have an address to put in their Garmin. They've struggled with that in the past where it did not want to pull it up on a
I know.
Garmin.
Isn't there still a couple of city streets that are existing city
Yeah.
streets that go right through the fairground?
Yeah,
Well, there would be the address, then one of those streets, and,
they should get an address from there. So okay, but anyway, that's
You'll have to just go out there with your Garmin when you're right there and see what it shows on you.
put the coordinates.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. Yeah,
I mean, that way
Right.
you'd be able to see exactly what it's showing.
yeah, that's true.
It should.
Okay, but anyway, that was it for me.
well, that seems to be it. Lee, anything else?
Nothing for me.
Okay, there being no further business, we are adjourned at 9:54 a.m.